personal brand with awesome, great. Okay, great. All right, thank you. Okay, so how do you grow your personal brand with digital? I want to say first of all that I'm a testimonial of the fact that today's digital age, it's one of the very, very important tools to actually grow your personal brand. Gone are those days where those who are able to grow themselves and expand their influence across board globally. Gone are those days when it takes a whole lot. You have to be at the Dangotes of this world. You have to be the Otedolas. You have to be the Elumenus who have so much money to be able to develop your personal brand and be able to expand it to reach out to global, to have global reach. But today in internet, I make it very, very easy. I won't say easy, I put easy in quote, all right, but it makes level the playing ground for everyone who is very serious about developing and growing their personal brand. So I've been a testimonial of that in the last I would say, few months and years, a few months and a few years, even though I've been in my space. So I want to encourage everyone, if you're seeing this for the first time, if you're hearing this for the first time, you probably, I'm almost in the same situation like you a few months or a few years back. And if you are already understand all this you're doing and you need to level this up, this also will be for you. For those who are established, who already know what they're doing, I may just have one or two reminders for you that will also help you in your journey. So let's go. So I say, welcome to the world of personal branding in a digital age that allows regular people to leverage the internet to amplify their unique skills, their talents, expertise, exposure, experiences, education. And I use those words very, very critically. All right. Those words, your unique skills, your talents, your expertise, your exposure, and your experiences, and your education. These are what are the 5 E's or the 4 E's and 2 S's and one S and one T that comprises your personal brand. So to create a profitable business online and live or work wherever, whenever, and with whoever that you want to work with. Okay. So no matter your background, your skill, niche, or industry, with my proven system and strategies today that I'm going to be sharing with you, you can finally take what you've already learned, what you've already mastered, what you're going to learn, what you've already learned, what you've mastered and love to do, and create highly profitable products, programs, and services online that people will be willing to pay for. So who am I? I just quickly share briefly so some of us can understand that I probably was in your own shoes a few months or a few years back. So I probably have similar story like some of you here, came from a very humble background, but wanted to be very rich and very successful. So I came to Lagos, Nigeria, about 18 years plus ago after my youth service, because I discovered that coming to Lagos is the closest route to get to London. Okay. All right. So when I came in just after my youth service, about 3 months later, uh, I joined a multinational company. Like I said, 3 months after my youth service, resigned exactly 5 years later to start my own business. And then after that, I started my first business in 2006, and built the business very big until 2013, where I needed another business vehicle to take me to my goals. So I started another business in 2014 alongside with the other business, because of course you cannot just jump out into just sometimes not into the waters just like that without at least testing it for a while. So I started that on that business alongside 2014, but that business didn't go very well until 2016. Okay, so an idea came to me in my hotel room when a friend of mine came and invited me to come and talk, make a speech on, I can remember very clearly, the topic was commanding cash flow. It was a church, it was a friend, we grew up together. All right, he pastors a church in Warri, Delta State, Nigeria, and he asked me to come share. So I just went there to share on commanding cash flow. And at the end of that section, it was mind blowing. I felt so fulfilled, and I was just lying down on my hotel room bed when this idea jumped at me, and he just said, "Terry, this is what you should be doing with your life." Okay, I felt this fulfilled. I felt this good about myself, and that was in May 2016. I can see that picture there. And this whole idea blows up. And then my younger brother was also a pastor in Port Harcourt, River State. And he sent me a message. I was looking at the message, and I saw on that message a friend of mine who was going to speak his church. And in his profile, I saw the John Maxwell team. And that's when my heart popped up, begin to ask query questions. I called my younger brother to to ask more questions about what does John Maxwell thing is all about. All right, he said he doesn't know so much, but I should speak to his friend who's also a John Maxwell team member, and that's how. Cut long story short, I joined the John Maxwell team in September 2016. Now, for those who don't know what the John Maxwell is all about, briefly, all right, it's a team put together. We call it the trainers put together with all the trainings, the books of John Maxwell. John Maxwell has been acclaimed to be the #1 leadership expert in the world. All right, so he's put all his training, his books into training formats that anyone can use, actually develop, start from scratch. Okay, so we are over 25,000 right now globally. So I joined that team in 2016 September, but that was the beginning of the whole journey. Okay, so I did my first training, all right, in November 2016, because we were told, so John, even if you don't understand, just use some of the things that we have there to actually do what you have to do. So I'm sharing this background because of something. So follow me closely, all right, you're going to understand how all this plays off as we go. Okay, in terms of how you build your personal brand and grow it. So I started that first month, but you could see that I called a few friends, put them together. We just used the book. If you see the book in their hands, there is the 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. So we ran through that section. Me, myself, that started that section, and I didn't know what to expect. But at the end of that section, the feedback from from the training gave me a clue about what to expect. I was as blessed, as fulfilled as even the people that also came from that section. Okay, so that was the whole beginning of the whole journey. So I started to do more trainings. All right, you can see more trainings there, just down there. You can see more of my sections there. I did several of it, and then I started the first conference. Okay, so this was my first conference here. Right, they called it the Leading Beyond Success Conference. It came up about 3 months after when we saw that this thing was going AY. And then that section, I was able to gather about 25 people that came for that conference. It was mind-blowing, and I put together some of the leaders or the people that were part of the mastermind group. We came together and we said, okay, let's do something bigger. Okay, so that led from this, it led to this that you see up there top right. That was the second edition 3 months after. So this one was in February 2017. This one was in April 2017. Wow. Things were beginning to expand. Things were beginning to look so good. Okay. So from there, I began to extrapolate. I said, okay, let me do this across in Nigeria. So I went to Port Harcourt and I did another section there. It wasn't a Leading Beyond Success conference, but it was something similar. I wanted to just blow this thing. All right. So from there, God began to move us, and we're taking this thing from one level to another. So I said, we do more trainings. Okay. So these were the more trainings I did. And then also, a friend of mine called me to speak to train some top leaders top leaders now, top employees of NNPC, who put together in a training. So these are PhD holders, master's holder, top people in is it New Peng or so. All right, I did that training. So things are beginning to erupt. All right, but it didn't just go as smoothly as that. In every stages, there are also curves. And I was why things started to decline. Okay, because I'm going to share that part with you. Because the truth is that at some point, you probably will not know how you want to do things, how you want to go about things, but you know your reason, you know your why. Okay, so why I'm saying this is as I'm going to be sharing, some of us may need to just take this inspiration today and go do what we have to do. But sometimes you're probably going to get some challenges across the way. So I want to say this to you, right? That don't be scared about some of the challenges you're going to go through. You are going to get better at it. So I think started to go down, not so well. I started to leverage on the internet, go on there to see how we can let's get more prospect, get more people to attend our conference, get more people to attend our trainings. But it didn't go that so well because I didn't understand the power of the internet. I didn't understand the power of digital. I didn't understand the power of social media. I registered in Facebook as back at 2010, but I didn't know how to go about it. So some of us understand that maybe we want to go there, post pictures, get likes, just get people to comment, our birthdays, our weddings. Some of us were doing the same thing. So we're at some point when we want to convert those people who are engaging in our post to come to attend one thing or the other, they disappear. You don't see anybody. So I was like you. I've been there, all right? So in 2019, all right, so when the likes of Zoom and others came in, so I said, okay, let me leverage on Zoom. I wrote a goal in 2019. I was going to start my first online Zoom training. It never happened. All right. So of course, we started asking ourselves, how are we going to go about these things? How are we going to do these things? It didn't just, there was no motivation. There was nothing that looks like it. Nothing. So that continued to happen until the lockdown came. The lockdown that came in March. So I paused for a while because you know that this journey sometimes may not be so smooth, But the truth is that when you are stayed on what you're going to be doing, what I'm going to be telling you today, you will see the results if you don't stay, if you're consistent, if you're persistent. So the lockdown came. Now, if you go around right now, I'm going to ask a lot of people, all right, they will tell you that, yeah, the lockdown came with a lot of issues, it came with a lot of declines in business with a shutdown. But the truth is that a lot of people who were leveraging on the internet, who were building their business before the lockdown, skyrocketed. All right. What's his name right now? The Amazon guy became a billionaire during this process. Zoom became $1 trillion company during the lockdown. There are several companies that became so big that hit billions of turnover. That, of course, you know that Elon Musk, just after the lockdown, became the richest man in the world. So the lockdown came too, and also was able to help me to be able to convert all my experiences, all my expertise, all my stories, failures, and everything, and go on the internet to help a lot of people. So my goals, my dreams started to come alive. Okay. So I launched out in May 2020, so it's not too far. So for some of you right now, you probably have been around, I've been getting a lot of failures or not results. Some of you are getting results. All right, so this is to encourage you to also do more from the strategies I'm going to be sharing. So when the lockdown came, I launched that in May. All right, and it did several seminars, several trainings online with no understanding, no ideas. And as I was learning, I was doing. So today, I have helped and inspired thousands of individuals and entrepreneurs in multiple ways through all our platforms, especially the online platforms. Okay, so simply what I do, all right, who am I? What do I do? Simply, I help individuals, professionals, and entrepreneurs to create and build systems, processes, and competencies that will help them expand their impact and influence while increasing their income in the process. So I call myself a success and leadership coach. Okay, so today I've also built a platform. All right, then started the platform, but didn't go do well. Don't forget those conferences were Living Beyond Success conferences. All right, but it got stuck at some point. But this was our goal. This was what we wanted to do. We were set to create a platform that is born out of a dire need to raise, train, and develop 1 million exceptional, significant, and result-oriented leaders in the multiple spheres of influence across professionals, entrepreneurs, CEOs, and captains of industry by the year 2030. But this goes so well. We were doing so much. It was like running a wheel that was this mechanical wheel. It was tough to do it offline. It was good, but it was tough. It was tougher, right? Our goals were seemingly like dwindling, like the candlelight in the night. All right, that was almost burning out. That was what happened until May. So by May 2020, things started to show up. I discovered that we're getting faster results online. Okay, so what happened? My Facebook group that I opened 3 years ago, I went back there in June 2020 and I jacked it up again. I said, let's go back there. Now I understand what to do. And then we built, by the December 2020, we have over 500 members. So that's when this flyer was put there. I celebrated over 500 group members from over 31, I think 27 countries and 100 cities across the world. So now we are beginning to build something bigger than we started just because we leverage on the internet. Okay, so today we have had over 80 plus free and paid webinar trainings in 9 months. Okay, before struggle one or before you call and host anything is tougher. Okay, also over 1,000 plus people reach in all our platforms. Okay, over 500 plus people train in all our platforms. Over 58 plus people coached in 6 months from 3 continents. All right, this is amazing because within the shortest possible time, we're able to do this. All right, offline, it was tougher. People were not putting their minds there. I'm not saying those offline doesn't work. I'm only saying for us, the vision was probably to float online. So I had several testimonials there. These are 2 testimonials. One guy said after the lockdown was doing a factory set on many things, and I've met this amazing, astounding genius, Coach Omodibo Terry, with his leadership qualities, branding strategies, and coaching skills are second to none. Thank you for your time with me. Call, text, and DMs. My story can never complete without mentioning your name. Let's do this again, 2021. All right, so, and other things that you said there. This other guy said, particularly, this guy is from Benin Republic, joined me in one of my coaching sections, and he said, particularly, I'm blessed by the training yesterday, and I've been wondering since the night, coach, that I am, if I shouldn't be coached by Terry for another 3 good months. In fact, for years, I put myself in the shoes of a marketer, and I've followed several trainings, and I've done the JCI training school, the Business Leadership Academy, and many other trainings. But yesterday, I learned. Firstly, I know that I must, and several other things that he said there. So these are proof to show that, hey, this thing, it works. So I'm going to be sharing some of those strategies as we go. So follow me very, very closely. So I know, why are you here? Some of us are here because we want to get clarity. Okay, maybe some of us are here because we want to get clarity. You want to get new knowledge, you want to get new information. Some of us are here for personal and professional development, depending. Some of us are here to learn, connect, and grow for different reasons. I may have touched some of the things that you're saying. Some of us are here to learn how to turn your personal brand into profit. Why some are here? Maybe to build to become more valuable and profitable online. Maybe some of us are also here to know how to make more sales online. Some are here to learn about the power of influence and how to build one. Some are here to learn how to improve their digital skills and marketing as a pro. So probably are here to learn how to be able to tell their stories in a more impactful way. Maybe some of us are here to also learn practical steps of how you can actually take to define and turn your personal assets. When I mean personal assets, remember those things I said, your 4 E's, your 1 S, and your T, your skills, your talents, your exposures, your experiences, your expertise, and all the things there. You want to know how to turn them to profit and be able to make money online. Maybe some of us are also here to learn how to practically make income, more money through influence and online. So I don't know. I probably have not touched what you're here for, but these are just able to capture some of the things, some of the reasons why people join my trainings. Okay, so if you're really serious about building your dream life, then stepping into building and branding, okay, building and growing your personal brand should be your next big task. Not only will your income skyrocket, but the impact you bring to everything you do will increase 1,000% or 1,000 times. Okay, let me say that again. This is my answer to you. If you are serious, really, really serious about building your dream life, I know a lot of us have dreams and goals. We know we've been dreaming this. Like me, I came into Lagos, want to go to London. We're trying to build something bigger than ourselves. I've been there, all right? I've been there. You discover that sometimes it's even farther. Your goals are farther than you're trying to get. So I've been there. So if you are serious about building your dream life, then stepping into building and growing your personal brand is your next big task. Not only will you skyrocket your income, but the impact you bring to everything that you do around you, even what you're doing currently, will increase in 1,000%. So before I go forward, I have a gift for everyone who stays to the end of this training. Okay, stay glued to your device undistracted, and more importantly, take a pen and paper, be ready to take notes, because I'm going to share some things with you that you probably have never thought about before. These things were mysteries, secrets, reasons why some things were not working for me at the point of my low moment. But right now, I begin to fly with some of these things, knowing that I do. So I said, let's get this done first. Now, I'm going to be taking us through 5 straight to the point things that you need to know about how to grow your personal brand with digital. So I'm going to take you through an introduction, just a quick one, and then talk about some important definitions, because if you don't know exactly what we're talking about, you need to get some foundation. And also I talk about personal branding. So I said, let's talk about personal branding. And there's some hacks to grow your brand. And then I'll share with you some of the digital tools that I have used, and a few of them that I know are very good at probably I'm not using to grow your personal brand. So I'll just run through that as quickly as I can within the very shortest possible time that I have. Okay, great. I still have a good time to run through this. So if I'm too fast, let me know, all right? Mr. Blessed, am I too fast? I'm trying to cover up what I have. Am I too fast, sir? Should I go ahead, sir? Okay. I don't know. My prepper probably is doing something else. Okay, so let's see if you can hear me loud and clear before I run through this. Can you give me that feedback that you can hear me loud and clear and you've gotten everything I've said so far? All right, I want to get those feedback on the chat room. Please put it on the chat room. All right, I have been getting you. I'll be following. Say continue. All right, Philomena Ofam, say continue. Have you been getting something so far? All right, have you gotten something so far? Okay. All right, I need more of that to let me know that you're following me, you're with me. Okay, I need more of those responses. All right, this is probably sometimes I may pause to get some interaction. So that look at what I'm talking to myself. Value. Okay, so Kemi says value. Kemi title say value. And then can I get some more of that? All right, say value. Who else is following me so that I'll be talking to myself. Who else is following me? I need one more and I'll shoot up and I'll move on. One more, say value. All right. Okay, awesome. All right, awesome. All right, so I probably, because I don't know if you've been following the training so far on Facebook, on Google trainings, all right, you probably gotten some of these statistics, but I want to start from this point. Okay, social media right now is a very powerful tool to establish a personal identity, build your image and stand out in your industry. Very, very critical, powerful tool. And I've shared with you right now my own story and how it has helped me to build mine. Okay, very, very critical. Whether you want to establish yourself as an expert, a freelancer, a professional, you need to carefully craft a personal brand. Very, very critical. You need to carefully craft a personal brand. So anything you don't brand is a commodity, it's everywhere. Okay, so that is very, very critical, and your brand will dictate your price. All right, I'll put in some pictures here, but this I'm not going to go so much critical into this. I'll just share some of the things that you need to know. But the truth is that if you put something that's unbranded and you put something that is branded, of course, you expect. Okay, let me just use this as a very critical example. All right, those days, water put in nylon was bought at 1 naira. All right, 1 naira. Highest you get it is 1 naira or 2 naira. Okay, when they decide to put a brand, put labels on it, of course, the value increased. So anything you don't brand is a commodity. So for you to be able to get to your goals faster, you need to consider building a personal brand. Okay, so as of July 2020, more than half of all the people on earth use social media. More than half. Our latest data showed that 3.96 billion people across the internet use social media today, equating to about almost 51% of the total global population. Hey, I'm telling you, in 2020, an estimated 3.9 billion people were using social media worldwide. I've said that a number projected to all increase into almost 4.1 billion in 2025. All right, they said there are over 7 billion people on the planet today. So if over 4.41 billion is using social media, hey, in 2025, that means in 2035, of course, 5.5 billion people will be using it. So social networks penetration is constantly increasing worldwide. And as of January 2020, it stood at 51%. I've said that already. Now, this is even state. This is 2021. Of course, the statistics would have improved. So that is a very, very important thing for you to know. Secondly, is that the social media user statistics worldwide, as captured there in September 2020 from this site, Facebook is 74.58%. Pinterest is 11.59%. Twitter is 6.88%. YouTube 3.98%. Instagram 1.58%. Of course, this would have improved. This is at 2020 September. So right now, it would have gone up a bit. But this gives you a clear picture of where to put your eggs on, where to focus on if you intend to build your personal brand and grow it. Very, very critical. I'll share more of that as we go. Now, what's a brand? Very simple. All right. I brought a Collins dictionary to explain that. All right. Some of us already know this, that a brand is a name, trademark, or other symbol which distinguishes a product or a manufacturer from others in the market. All right. So I use the pure water right now as an example, right? When it became sachet water, so they don't call it pure water again. Right? It's not sachet water, branded. All right, now going for like 100 to 150 naira per bag. The same water that you get in your house just been treated and packaged. Okay, so that's what it's all about. When you put a name, put a symbol, that's what the brand is. For as easy as that. Okay, but there are other thought leaders who have come up with several other definitions. I picked one from Seth Godin, who's a very foremost thought leader in the industry. He said a brand is a set of expectations, memories, stories, and relationships that taking together account for a consumer's decision to choose one product or service over another. That means, why should I buy A and not B? Or why should I buy C and not A and B? The reason why you make those decisions is because of your brand. Of course, everyone you see out there is building one, either consciously or unconsciously. So I put this here, all right, I may not talk so much about this, but this is just an acronym that someone put together, very, very fantastic friend put together, and I felt it's just needed here right now. All right, an acronym from brand. The first one is blueprint. The second one is relationship. Of course, for you to go is social media. It means you must be able to create relationships. And of course, trust. People do business with those they like, they know, like, and trust. So if you do, of course, what everybody is doing there, for those who are influencers, all right, let me use that word because that's not the right word to use. For those right now who have more visibility, all right, who have more followerships on those social media pages right now, have been able to build trust over time. Okay, you can do the same thing for yourself if you decide to build one today. And of course, you must be authentic. You must be natural. Not let people see you are not being authentic. Of course, after a while, they are going to find out that you are inauthentic. You must be real, okay? So look at what is on Facebook. If you go there, you want to type anything, it says what's on your mind. So it's the ability to be real, be authentic, that makes people connect with you. And of course, you must be able to be distinct, okay? Now, what's a personal brand? Very simple. I picked two definitions here. The first one is, a personal brand is a widely recognized and largely uniform perception. The word there is perception or impression of an individual based on those three things I mentioned the other time, based on their experiences, their expertise, their competences, actions, achievements, within their community, industry, or marketplace at large. So you see these words are coming back again. Your experiences, your expertise, your competencies, all these are very critical things that helps to build your personal brand, that gives people a perceived value of who you are, because they never met you before. They don't know you before, but the perception that you created on social media, or what you told them that you are, is what they take. And over time, if you be consistent, of course, they see you as the go-to person. Okay, so the next one is what's for personal branding. I brought this just to emphasize, just for education purpose, that the conscious and intentional effort to create and influence public perception, that's called the word come again, of an individual by positioning them as an authority in their industry, all right, in their industry, elevating their credibility and differentiating themselves from the competition to ultimately advance their careers, all right, their circle of influence, increase their circle of influence, and have a larger impact. This is said by the personal brand. I got that from personalbrand.com. You go online, you get that. Very, very important. These very, very important definitions, and they are very keywords there. That's why I put them here, so you can understand those keywords. Right now, you already have some of those things right now. So, the boss himself, okay, Jeff Bezos of Amazon says this very, very simply. The personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. As simple as that. What do people say about you when you're in the room? What do people say about you when you are long gone? You're not around. There are people who are dead, long and gone, but right now people still talk about them because of the value they've created. That's what speaks about your personal brand. So I give a very, very critical example. All right, the likes of Archbishop Benson Idahusa. You see, we don't call them late Archbishop. We call them Archbishop because they are legends. They are people that have built a value for themselves that is transferred from generation to generation. Okay, so same thing. All right, I mentioned another one like the Dr. Myers Muro. Dead, but right now we still call him Dr. Myers Muro because they have built a strong personal brand that transcends from generation to generation. So that's what it's all about. That's what I've been talking about. Okay, so there are very critical elements you must consider. Let's talk personal branding a bit. The very critical elements you must consider if you want to build a very solid one. Okay, there is the personal one and there's the corporate one. So this training is not the block about the corporate one. All right, the likes of maybe the Apple, the Google, but the principles are almost the same. This is focused on you as a person. Everybody has a personal brand, whether you understand it or not, whether you know how to build one or not. All right, so now because you're in this room, you now know that you need to build one intentionally. Okay, so even if you are working in an establishment, you have a personal brand. Even if you are working for someone, you have a personal brand you're building. People, the reason why you send your resume is because you've built something over time that people want to know. That's your expertise. They want to see your education, your expertise. They want to see your experience. That's your brand already. You're selling your brand to the organization for them to buy. So, but how do you begin to focus on one and build it intentionally and grow it with digital? That's why we're here. So follow me closely. I'm getting there very shortly. I want to run through this. So there are 5 different things, components that you need to focus if you want to build one very strongly. If you want to build one very strongly that will last for a long time, you must focus on your personal identity. You must focus on content, communication, positioning, and USP. So I won't focus on those other ones right now. All right, but I had a masterclass training to end of last year where I dealt with some of these things. Okay, so I'll make an announcement at the end of this section for those who probably would need that very in-depth, over 5 hours training, very in-depth on all these things, talking about all these different aspects. But I want to just talk about the identity part because that's what resonates with some of us right now and that we need to also focus on. So what's your personal identity? Is who you are online. Who are you online? What's your personality online? Are you the one just posting unnecessary jokes? Are you the one posting nude pictures? Are you the one posting just anything you like? And at the end of the day, when you want to build something, people don't take you seriously because they've seen. Are you the one commenting unnecessarily on some comments? Where does your how will I put this now? Your trail, your online trail gets to. All right. While I was preparing for this, I stumbled on something very, very critical, and I was so shocked that everything you do online is being traced somewhere, somehow. There is something that traces you. There are crawlers that traces your footprints online. So right now, you must be very, very deliberate about what you post, where you go, where you comment, where the forums that you are. Very critical. These are all factors that help to expand your personal. I will share some of them as we go. So, but who are you online? What's your personality online? Is very critical right now. So you have to do a personal SWOT analysis. You have to look at your skills, your abilities, your knowledge, your talent, your personality, your strengths, and your weaknesses. All these things, you have to evaluate them, put them on the table, and you must be able to come up with something. If it's very low, it's something you need to work on. If it's average, of course, you need to also work on it. If it's on point, of course, you need to also expand it because there is no end to knowledge. All right. So you have to do a personal SWOT analysis. The second thing is you must develop a personal branding statement that shows your unique value proposition. This is a whole seminar on its own, talking about your unique value proposition, but this is what ties everything to your name. All right. This is what ties everything to your name. What's the value that you bring? What will make people move towards you and not away from you? All right. If you hear Mr. Blessed said at the beginning, he said, I've been following him for a while because I've been consistent. I've been posting almost the same thing over and over, all right, over and over again. And then he said, I think this guy can do it. I can bet myself that this is the first time he's probably listening to me, all right, but he has seen some of the things I've posted. That's because everything that was tied to that name. So he believed I could do it. And of course, I'm not going to let him down for this training. And the second thing is you need to identify a target market for your message and align to personal skills and knowledge. This is already a whole course on it. So I dealt with some of these things in that masterclass, okay? Masterclass. I dealt with some of these things in that masterclass. So I'm not going to talk so much on that, but I just wanted to mention it. The next thing is a pen name. Okay, so when I started this conversation, I said my name is so person. This is what I do, and this is what I am. My pen name there is a success and leadership coach. All right. So you go online, you see some people call themselves pain doctor, some people call themselves different names. All right, like gentleman there called Jimmy Tewe says he is the professor. Some other people call themselves VC. Some other people call themselves so different things because they want you to know. That's what they are. And everything is tied to the value. Everything is tied to the solution that they offer. Everything is tied to their brand story and their brand message. So these are very, very intentional practices that you must very, very think about when you're building your personal brand. Okay, so write a short tagline that represents you. I've talked about that already. All right, it has big companies with customers acquisition and community nurturing by amplifying the digital channels. Okay, so you must look at different things there. Those are just examples of taglines. Okay, like initially my organization is multiplying your success in life and business. So those are different things. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Key elements of your personal brand. Key elements of your personal brand. Sorry, I'm rushing. It's because I have a lot to talk about and I have very short time. So I don't know. I just need to just run through it. I don't want to stop on the way. Okay, so please just follow me closely. Listen very carefully. All right, so you can get something out of this whole conversation. I'm sorry I'm rushing out, but I have a lot to speak about. Okay, so key elements of your personal brand. The first one there is your brand vision. Very critical. No vision, my people perish. So what do you want to be known for? You must be able to articulate it. If you became known, all right, sorry, if you became known as the world go-to expert on a topic, what would that topic be? So you must be able to come up with those topics. All right, that's if you want to become a thought leader. Or if you're an entrepreneur, what would be your solution? What will be the thing that you're offering to people? Very, very critical things you must also think about. Your brand mission. Why do you want to build a brand? What is your purpose? What do you want to influence? Okay, who do you want to influence? And what do you want to accomplish? You must be able to answer all these words. They are very critical elements of your personal brand. I dealt with all these things in that masterclass. Very critical. We did about 5 practical trainings. I was able to also give them some spreadsheets that they can use, some templates that they can use to get all these things done. And also your brand message. Your brand message. What's the key message that you want to communicate? Without no message, just forget about it. You just be floating around. Okay? Even though you also send negative messages when you are online, but the truth is that for you to be intentional, you must also be intentional about the message. So what's the key message you want to communicate? Very critical. What message do you want to constantly reinforce in your content and in your marketing? So if you could give one piece of advice to your audience, what would it be? These are critical things that you also need. And also your brand personality. What are some of the personal characteristics and traits that you can weave in your brand? Do you want to be perceived as very polished and professional, or perhaps more quickly and adventurous? Okay, so some people think, yes, I talk a lot fast. Some people are talking calmly. Some people are just calmly and they hit it one after the other. Like, so what some of you? So I am not that. I'm bringing myself into my own thing. Okay, so that's my personality. I talk a bit fast. I try to articulate my points as much as possible, but I also put a lot of energy into what I'm saying. I try to be original, to be authentic. So your brand personality also matters a lot in this whole mix. Now, this is just a picture just to help you to capture some of those things: your taglines, your vision, your values, your mission, your image, everything, and so much more that I'm not able to put right here, but I discussed that critically in that masterclass that I did last year. Okay, so hacks. What are some of the hacks right now that you can use to grow your personal brand? Hacks. What are some of the hacks? What are the best hacks that you can use to grow your personal brand? Number one, you must define your branding goals. You must define your branding goals. You must define what you want to achieve with your brand. You must be clear about where you're going. You must be clear about what you want to achieve. Clarity is number one thing. Okay. You must also declare. You must also define what platform expresses you better. What platform? So look at LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn there showcases your professional skills, discovery of new job opportunities in your industry. Okay, I'm trying hard right now. If you Google my name, Terry Omodibo, the first thing that jumps out is LinkedIn. But I don't show up so much on LinkedIn. So I'm like, hey, but right now, I told myself, I think a few days ago, that Terry, you need to go and up your LinkedIn profile. Because if you Google my name, the first thing you will see is your LinkedIn profile. So you must be very intentional. So I'm going to work on that right now. I'm cutting some things and I need to repackage and revamp that. Because when people jump, right now, if you even go jump there, the first thing you will see is my LinkedIn profile. Okay, before you see some of the things I've done on Facebook. Okay, so all these things are very important. You must define your branding goal. Twitter. All right, if you want to talk to a larger audience, you want to build a profile to influential tweets, you also look at Twitter. You have a huge followers. Of course, Twitter is a way to go. Okay, Instagram, brand influencer for influencers, photography, for pictures, images. Of course, you should be on Instagram. Okay, on LinkedIn, on Pinterest. Of course, those are specialty in arts and craft, infographics and other things. You be on. You focus a little bit on Pinterest. Of course, Facebook, like I shared at the beginning with that slide. All right, with that statistics. Facebook has over 74 point something percent of people online. So everyone should, this is what I would say, everyone should be on Facebook. I am heavy on Facebook, very heavy on Facebook, because I believe that's the largest market, okay? So I'm also working myself to see how I can expand myself, grow my brand to a point wherein it's easier for me to get things done. So if you have products to sell, be on Facebook. The second thing you want to do is audit your social media handles. Audit them. Okay. When somebody sends me a message on Messenger, the first thing I go is, who is this guy? I go on your profile. I want to see, who are you? And when I get there, I say a lot of stuff, I quickly, sometimes I respond. Initially, I used to respond. Right now, I told myself, there's no point wasting time, because you can waste all your time on social media with the wrong people, okay? Talking to the wrong people. So the first thing is your profile. You must be able to audit it. Make sure your profile is on point. And that masterclass, I actually went practical, brought up my profile, and I was showing them one after the other of those things that they need to and what they need to audit. So, but you must also delete any old accounts that you're no longer using. Don't let people tie you to the wrong place. Okay, I was on a platform, a software. I'm going to share that software as we go. All right, to help me to get through those callers to see if I have any account somewhere that probably tell bad about me. I also see that as you begin to develop your brand and becomes very visible, of course, you're going to see a lot of people put your profile in places that you probably don't want. You can have the opportunity of being able to sift them out and delete some of those things. So you must be focused, all right, deleting some of those wrong information that you don't want on your brand. Make sure all the information is complete and choose your choice handle. Another thing you want to also do here is ensure that all your handles have the same name. So people have different name on on Facebook, some have different name on Instagram, some different name on Twitter. Somebody is confused. Like so one of my friends said, he said, you must be easy, your name must be easy to mention. Some people's name is terrible. Gloriki, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How will somebody remember you? If you want to be the personal brand, let it be as simple as your name. You may not use all your full name. Pick something that resonates that people can easily remember, and they put there. You must make it very easy to remember. Number 3 is you have to be omnipresent. You must be omnipresent. You must have strong web presence. Strong web presence, all right? You must have multiple social media channels where people can reach you. You must have a personal blog. You must have an account on all the top social media handles such as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Very, very critical. This is a no-brainer. This is not negotiable. You must be there. Also, for some of us, you also need to have a YouTube channel. Okay, I have registered one already, and very soon I'm going to be launching a whole lot on YouTube. Some of the things I'm doing. In short, I'm having a conference, a summit by the end of this month. Is going to be also tied to my birthday, a 3-day summit, and that's where I'm going to be launching my YouTube channel, interviewing some speakers, and they'll be coming there on YouTube. So you must also have it, must very critical, because right now video is the future. You must also define your areas of expertise. Who needs it? Okay, who needs your expertise. You must also be able to define that. This is, I'm able to do that right now, but also in that masterclass, all right, that masterclass, I dealt with this very critically, was able to explain and give some pointers of how you can define that. You must also be able to define your niche. I've talked about that. Define your niche critically, define your audience. These are different ways. You can know to know where they hang out. Where are they? Very critical. And also, you must also be able to establish your personal branding strategy. You must establish your personal branding strategy. You must define a consistent strategy that works for you. All right. And if it doesn't work, you tweak it here and there. You must adjust on the way. So, do you want to drive traffic to your site or email marketing funnel? Depending on which one you want to do. All right. For this National Digital Adoption Campaign, they drove people right to a Telegram funnel. Okay. From there, of course, you are going to YouTube. You are also going to Zoom and all that. So that's a strategy. You must be able to define yours too. You must also build a calendar, content calendar for what and when you will post. Okay. You must also be able to do that. Next thing, you want to ensure consistency. Ensure consistency in your brand voice, image, and tone color. All right. Be consistent. Be consistent. Market yourself in a way that people can understand you and recall your brand very, very easily. Number is it 9 also? Start writing and sharing content. Content is the connecting point between you and other people. Content is heavy. Content is a whole lot. That's what helps you to showcase your expertise. You must be able to share content about your brand. Content marketing is the most effective way to build your reputation and brand online. Very critical. All right. Follow the 80-20 rule of providing good content 80% of the time and selling only 20% of the time. You must start your own blog. You must update it regularly. And of course, if you can, do guest blogging also. Okay. Do guest blogging also. These are very, very important things. I can't talk about content right now. It's a whole full training. But I also talked about content in that masterclass that I'm talking about. I did last year. All right. Next thing you want to do is also network and engage. Very critical, network and engage. Engage in community discussions. Okay. Never ignore an influencer. You must engage with other people in your field. You must be able to relate to other people. Don't forget, I said at the beginning, the arrow was for relationships. Relationship is critical to building and sustaining your brand. So the key to sustaining your brand is what? Networking. Number 10 or so, or thereabout, you must identify and engage with other influencers. I've said that initially. Influencers are the rulers of social media. You must collaborate. All right. When influencers talk about your brand will explode. All right. Just last week, I had a very strong brand invite me to host, all right, and interview other brands and then talk about my brand also in there. So when other people talk about your brand, that's where things are beginning to turn around for you. So you must also identify and engage with other brands. Then the next thing is find and join niche groups. This changed me last year. All right. I've been in several groups, never participated, never understand what we're doing. But last year, I decided to intentionally focus on a lot of groups, and it has been very phenomenal. I will draw a lot of people to some of my trainings, draw a lot of people, have good networks, reach a lot of people that I've never met in my life one day, but we are friends already. So LinkedIn groups, Facebook groups, they are very critical, and other groups. I'll share some of those things as we go before I end this conversation. Then the last thing on your hacks is you must be persistent and consistent. According to Yink Law research, we are exposed to about 5,000 ad messages daily. If you're on Facebook, ads will almost finish you. All right. But you must also be very persistent and consistent so that you can actually ride on the algorithm to get your visibility done. Okay. These are very critical things. This class is just hitting the points. All right. But there are several things that are so much important here that you also need to know. Okay. You must be able to develop your personal brand message and deliver it over and over again in the same manner. So I've delivered this several times and deliver it again. Of course, we'll be delivering it again next week in my Instagram handle. So I have to say this over and over and over until somebody gets it. You must be consistent. You must create a consistent brand style, brand color, mission. This is another class on its own. Okay, your brand colors, your brand style. If you go on Facebook, on my Facebook handle or Instagram handle, you will see, go on Terry Omodibo on Facebook or Terry _Omodibo on Instagram. You will see the flyers, they are consistent. The colors are consistent. It's telling you about something. It's telling you something. It's resonating something about my brand. Then also, the last thing is be an influencer yourself. Be an influencer yourself. Don't look at other people and say, these are the social media influencers. You are also a social media influencer because you are influencing people in one way or the other already. But how do you do this intentionally? And this is what this is all about. This is all about building your brand. Very critical. Be an influencer yourself. Nurture strong relationships with other influencers so you can eventually become one of them. Strive to build your own fan base. I'm doing that on my own. I've shared with you in my own story that follows you passionately by sharing your relevant content that makes your audience feel very important. And then you write for them. Very, very critical. This is a whole lot. Writing, very critical. Write books. Okay, I've done several master classes on book writing, and I'll probably be doing one again in another month. So, but if you want to be able to learn this, you can also reach out to me. I'm going to teach you how to write and maybe write your book and others. So all these are very, very critical things. You must be a writer if you are online. Write your content, write books, write it everywhere. People must hear you. People must hear you. You must be consistent. Now, lastly, if you be getting something, you can put that on the chat room. If you be getting something so far, please put it in the chat room. I want those feedback. I'll read it out. I want to believe that somebody's following, but I think I'm running out of time right now. But I just quickly run through this last phase, which is the tools that you will need, the digital tools you will need to amplify your brand. I will run through them as fast as I can, and then we'll end this conversation as fast as I can because I know I've run out of time. Number one, the tools for creating your personal brand. These are about 6 tools I put here. These are the tools you use to create your personal brand. So if you can screenshot that, you should. All right. These are the tools you use Grammarly. All right. That helps you to correct your grammar. Canva. All my flyers I designed with Canva myself. If you want to learn how to design with Canva, of course, reach out to me. I'm going to help you to do that. I also taught that in the masterclass. All right. That masterclass that I did is a whole package. Okay. It's a whole package for over 5.5 hours in 2 days. 2 days class, masterclass, 5.5 hours. I also taught them how to design with Canva. Just a bit, all right. But if you want to learn it, as you want to focus on it, reach out to me. Go on my social media handles, Terry Omodibo, on all platforms except Instagram, which is _Terry_Omodibo. You see all the flyers I've been designing. All of them I did it with Canva. So Canva is very critical too. There's no way you'll be online. You will always need to design a flyer, a quick one, maybe a quick quotes or quick something. You need Canva. All right. Canva is one of the biggest. Or there's also PicMonkey. Very important. Google Doc, of course, you know Google Doc, Google Alerts, Feedly. These are things that help you to draw content, get you critical information that you need, right, to be able to share to people in your industry trends and all that. Very, very critical. Google Alerts, Feedly. You want to sign up all those things. At Evernote, all right, some of you, an idea is stumble on you, maybe while you're working or you're doing something. You want to quickly just capture that. You can use Evernote to do that. So help you to take notes. And of course, you need Calendly. If you've got a coach like myself, you need Calendly for people to book you and also for you to be able to put yourself on schedule. You want to schedule, all right? You need Calendly for that. It's like a calendar, all right? You also have Google. You also have a Calendly on Google too that you can also use for yourself. So these are tools for creating your personal brand. Tools for monitoring your personal brand. Some of these I have used, some of them I've not used. Of course, I'm going to be using some of them. Brand yourself, all right? I was on Brand Yourself recently to help me to suck out some of the things and list some things that are not good for my reputation online and my privacy issues. Okay, so I was there also. It will help you. The free version will help you to point, and of course, you need the paid version. So for your online reputation management, use Brand Yourself. Go to brandyourself.com. You see that you have cloud. Use social media analytics to rate its users. You have Twitter there for those who are very heavy on Twitter. I'm not so heavy on Twitter. All right, use that tool for real-time tracking, organizing, and engagement. You also have another one called Bozumo, allows any user to find out what content is popular by topic or any website. You can go there and sign up. You also have Mention. I've gone on Mention, but I've not been using that. But I think it's one of the critical tools you can also use if you're on social media all the time. So it helps you to quickly discover content ideas, uncover platform insights, and identify passionate influencers that you can actually connect to, and will help you to amplify your brand. Tools for extending your personal brand. For those who have several platforms on social media, you can just take this added about 4 of them and more that you can use to aggregate all your social media handle and post at once. Of course, some of them are paid versions, okay? Like Hootsuite, it will help you to manage and track your social media account. You can just click one. I think I registered some years back, but I left it because sometimes I want to post on my page. I want to post on my profile. I don't want to post on my page. But you can have all your pages handles being posted with just one post, and it goes to all your handles. You can use Hootsuite. You also have Buffer there, Elja. All these are scheduling apps that will help you to schedule your social media posts and help you to be able to manage them very critically. The third one is the tools for exploring your social media network. Okay, for those who are heavy on Twitter, you can take this. You have follower wonk and unfollow statistics. It will help you to know those who followed you, those who didn't follow you, and all that. Those you need to follow back, and your Twitter bios, and help you to aggregate all those things. Very important for those who are heavy on Twitter. There are so many others there, but I just put these ones here for us to know. And also tools for marketing your personal brand. Okay. If you want to do this and do it intentionally, you need to be on these tools. Okay. So you have the email marketing. You have to send emails. It's short. You can't run out of this. You have to send emails. The popular one is MailChimp, all right? But there are several others. MailChimp allows beginners to be able to have access to a lot of contacts. I use MailChimp. I also use SendPulse, okay? All right. You want to be on the free account. There are several others, SendLane, Sender, Active Campaign, and several others that you can also use. Just go online and just type list of email marketing platforms. You see all of them rush out. Pick any one, but if you ask me as a beginner, I would say use MailChimp. Okay, then I'm not advertising for them, but MailChimp is just okay for a beginner. Just okay for a beginner. Okay, and then we have social media, of course. You should be on those four. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. You should be on there, and for WhatsApp. All right, now maybe on Instagram, on Telegram, and several other social media. You should be there, so it can help you to market your brand. You should be on groups, forums, Quora. You should be on Facebook groups. I told you how Facebook changed my life. Naira Land for those in Nigeria and others. Reddit, you should be there. Gismania. These are all places you can help to use to market your brand. Of course, marketplaces, Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Jumia, Alibaba, Google Express, for those who are books, Okada books, and several other book sites. This helps you to market your brand. When your books are there, it's amplifying your brand to other people. When they get you, they know about you. If you don't market yourself, nobody will market for you. So you have to market yourself. Of course, you need platforms too, like Zoom, like we're using right now, YouTube, all right, for those who are going to be talking, doing a lot of speaking, you need YouTube, webinar jams for webinars, Google Meets, you have Restream, you have StreamYard, and several other platforms that you need. These are all platforms, tools that you need to market your brand. Very, very important too. So if you want to hear some more, know some more about this, I wrote an ebook, all right, I call it Spend Less and More. Sorry, Spend Less and More. Okay. How do you make money online? Do you know how of selling online or know how of selling online? I wrote that book last year. For those who need that book, all right, I'll mention something about that. And then the last thing here is the tools for measuring your personal branding success. You need all these Twitter analytics. All these analytics are very critical for you that you need. I think the last thing, my final word, before Blessed comes in. I know I've run out of time already. Final word, creating and building a personal brand on social media is not easy. It requires a lot of thoughts, strategies, and research to win. It's not about your look or your location. It's more about the values and how you make your audience feel when they see yet another new piece of content from you. Think long term, execute short term, evaluate, and adjust where you need to adjust. So I'll end this by saying, build your brand over time. It's not a 100-meter dash. It's a marathon. Okay? So if our end conversation is important to you, you'll find a way. But if not, you find an excuse. Okay? So I mentioned some things in the course of this conversation about some resources. I don't know, Blessed, should I share that? I don't know if I shared that right now. Some of the resources that I have that can help you to expand this, to know more about this. I have 2 ebooks there. One of them is the visibility factor. That will help you to talk about your content. How do you grow your content in your industry via content? Okay, for this class, I said I was going to give you a gift. For those who are going to be able to get this because of this class, you can get that at 1,000 as against 5,000 as an ebook. And then for that masterclass, I told this 5 hours plus masterclass. It goes at 15,000 naira normally, but for purpose of this, all right, if you know you're in this class, in this section and you want to get it, you can get that at 5,000 naira only for those who are part of this. And then, of course, the last one is an ebook on how to spend less and more. How do you sell online? How do you market your brand online? I have that ebook there. It goes for 5,000, but for this class, you can get that 1,000. The screens, the links are there. And then, of course, I have a webinar replay. I did how to brand yourself as an expert in your niche. It's a 1 hour, 34 minutes webinar. All right, it goes normally for 5,000, but for this class, I'm going to give you it at 1,000. So these are resources that you can take. You can screenshot them. And for those who need it, and you feel this is critical to you, or you use to deliberate, or you to expand yourself and learn more about what you're doing, you can screenshot them and then, of course, reach out and get those. You'll be able to download them immediately. You make those payments. Thank you so much, Blessed Allah, for this opportunity. I believe I've done justice to what you want.
What a great loaded session. Thank you, sir. That was great. Now, House, if you have any question, is very much with us. Let's put our question on Telegram or WhatsApp because of the time. Already, Google session have commenced like 5-10 minutes. Okay, like say 5-9 minutes. So let's go there. Let's join. We have his contact. Mr. Terry has really done great. Please show the contact, let people so that people can have your contact, sir, so they can reach
so
out.
those are
So
contacts. You can
that's
reach
the
out to me.
contact
You
there.
can send an email.
So let's reach out to him, and then we'll still have the contact on the platform so that we can maximize the opportunity, the advantage of this digital branding. So thank you so very much, sir. God bless you. So right, let's go for Google session now as we end the meeting.